can check it out for yourself. Moving along with this one, though. So, as we see, we got the picking stage finishing up even, moving into the second tier of bands, that is. So let's take a look at what was banned first. We got Rally, Keeper, Tempest, and Ophelia. So definitely a different mindset going into game number 2 here, as far as the bans are concerned. I think Tempest is the only one that was the same, as far as the initial, as far as game number 1 being the bans. And it's you know, it seems like for Captain's Pick, for the most part, it's been a lot of at least 2 or 3 of the bans are pretty They go from game to game in any given series, you know, to be the same really. But this one kind of going off pace of that a little bit, and once again, kind of reacting to that first game even. Keeper the Forest also just kind of throw it in there as well. If you're gonna ban the Tempest, then we might as well ban the Keeper as well. As again, someone kind of brought that up yesterday. It's although maybe the idea that Keeper is you have number one, you know, you pick him up every single game has kind of gone down a little bit, but at the same time, if one team picks up a Tempest, you kind of have to pick up the Keeper if you can, because to give them a Keeper-Tempest combination is very, very deadly. So, kind of have them both, or not going to have them at all. That's what it comes down to. As far as the picks go, we had Engineer into Pebbles to Scout, a Luna, Parasite, and then a Warbeast to finish things off here. So, as a result of those bans happening, heroes like Scout were left open. And actually picked up over here by our Legion team. Pebbles was valued over Scout by RFaM. Now, Pebbles was banned the first game, so I assume it was banned by Locomotives here in that first game. But again, valuing the Pebbles pretty highly over Scout, over Parasite, over others. Not that not that that's a bad thing, but it is a little bit surprising. I don't know if all the teams would be on the same level or be on the same mindset even of Mikey Man over here in RFaM, but hey, they like their Pebbles, so we'll see if that actually comes through for them. But you know, again, as a result of going for that, they give up maybe a first pick Scout or something like that, which, as I stated, was picked up over here by Locomotives on top of the Parasite. Then you got a Luna Warbeast coming out from RFaM, so plenty of options still left open for both teams to an extent. I mean, for Locomotives, you got what most likely is going to be a Suicide Scout, Jungle Parasite, of course, so still need their middle presence as the bans are kind of finishing up here. You got Master of Arms, Corrupted, Torturer, Magnus coming out. So banning the Corrupted after that first game. Again, he wasn't necessarily the biggest threat, but realizing maybe he's more of a comfort hero for them. Banning the Corrupted here, but wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, as we've seen before, that, you know, if you are going to go a Scout presence, going another hard carry on top of that, might be a little overkill. Going more of a more mobile carry that's going to be involved earlier on in the game, something like a Hag, could be a good choice here. They're also right-clicking the Pestilence, actually, to go with the Engineer, perhaps. They're going to go Bubbles here, though. Interesting. So that kind of makes you think, okay, what are we going to be seeing here?
Pestilence!
They RFA will take the Pestilence themselves, actually. And they're going to end up being most likely 2-2-1 style of setup over here as far as their final support. I think a Glacius could be a solid option here. Empath is always pretty good too. Powerman's still on the board. But we need to finish for Locomotive as far as what their final pick's going to be. So again, it's with that Bubbles pickup. Does that mean we're going to see more of a farm-focused Scout here? Prisoner picked up. Prisoner 945 coming out here. Now that's kind of interesting, because it just hit me. But this is again another one of all the steering that we do with the shackled ability. So if Pestilence is shackled, can he not flight? I assume that's the case. I mean, it's a 40% movement speed button. It says enemies cannot use movement abilities. Maybe not actually, because movement, I guess, is different than movement speed. I don't know. I would actually be very, you know, that's always kind of curious to see if that is the case or not. I'm sure 6 minutes from now, once again, chat will gladly express their opinions on that. That's interesting, though. I wonder. But, I mean, outside of that, there's nothing... You know, there's no Monkey King, there's no Rally. You know, those were the two, again, that always are brought up when we were theory crafting about Prisoner 945 in the beginning. But, again, I think we got really too focused. We get too focused on that. I'm kind of speaking for myself, really. Trying to get myself... As we've seen, I mean, Prisoner himself as a hero overall, with the ball and chain ability, with his ultimate, the one-man riot, it allows him to be even that carry presence to an extent. I mean, he can be a hard hitter, as we saw by B-Kid, and against State Green in the grand finals of last cycle for HoN Tour. So overall, he actually is just a pretty sound hero. You don't need to pick him up just thinking like, oh, we want him for that shackle because of this certain hero. So I guess I should stop getting on them. But it's more so a curiosity as far as if it actually works or not. But overall, still has proven to even be a good hero. So again, Fabelli is going to be reading up on the scout, so it is still probably going to be more of that suicide scout here. I'm guessing, so that means, yeah, Prisoner, Engineer, Lane. You got Bubbles. I guess it's going to be Short.
Let's get it on.
And then Parasite in the jungle here. Could be an aggressive trial line, actually. And you know what? That probably makes more sense, even. What are we seeing here from the Hellborn team with that said? We got that 2-2-1 style going. They finish off the Nymphora, by the way. I'm not sure, because if they do go aggressive trial lane, that could set up Parasite to actually have some trouble if he gets harassed in the jungle quite a bit, being up there by the Luna and the Nymphora. We'll see what Locomotives decides to do here. I muted myself, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Just want to make sure of that. Done that before in the past. I'm going to do my own setup. Forget to unmute the mic, and you sit here talking for 6 minutes, and then chat finally explodes like, we can't hear you. I think I'm good. He's using the default skin here. I've been liking seeing the pig skin with the rake. It's actually pretty fun, but at the same time, it is also kind of cool to see the default skin too. And actually, lost the health bars. They're running into each other right here. Stalagmites connect. Actually, Parasite in trouble, and Pale Stun goes out as well. Zeal Stun connecting here. Oh, but look at the ball and chain. Pebbles out in the meantime. He's in a lot of trouble. Pebbles is going to be bloodlusted here. Big turnaround, and you know that's also another reason why that hero's so deadly, even from level 1. I mean, if you're going to commit to try to kill somebody, you need to make sure that you're going to do it, because as we saw right there, they started to fall back, but Prisoner said, no, we'll take one of you back in. Sure enough, caught Pebbles and Bloodlust kill in favor of Locomotive, so big start for them. So here we are, going to be, again, as expected, that Engineer Prisoner lane. As far as the other lanes, though, that was the curiosity thing. We got Bubbles is sure enough going to be short, and yeah, Scout is going to play the suicide here. Not going up against the jungle, so not necessarily needing to ward up the jungle. He actually goes Vanish first, even. Wants to pull that creep wave. Good job right there. Prisoner tanking this creep wave here in the middle lane. Wants to have lane control, but Pebble's also doing the same, so both sides pretty stubborn here. Prisoner actually just sitting there tanking it. Pebbles, in the meantime, kind of walking back and forth, trying to mitigate the damage. This hero, the skinned, I mean, this hero, he's just massive, too. God. Like, you even just compare him to Engineer right here. Especially Pebbles at level 1, too. But yeah, excited to see the Prisoner pick up, seeing that progresses. But Bubbles being matched up against Warbeast down here. Scout matched up against the Pestilence at the top lane. You know, Pestilence, obviously another good reason that he was picked up is with that Swarm. It affects Scout quite a bit. Can't use his Vanish as effectively for the Invis if he gets affected by it. But of course, we'll still get the movement speed, so as we've seen before, can still work out just fine for Scout. You see Bubbles pressuring the tower here at the bottom lane, getting the lane pushed up. Warbeast sure had a bit to do with that with the pulling. We'll take advantage of the levels himself, and I'm guessing level 2 Battlecry. Yep, that's something else as always to keep in mind. Battlecry coming into play here in the laning phase. As far as this middle lane matchup, Prisoner and Engineer, that's got to be frustrating to play against, because you know it really is a better Devo hook, as he doesn't really need to be as concerned about positioning with the creeps and whatnot. You know, he just pulls it all in. So I'm sure this is not a fun lane to have to play against here. Coming out for ready for a miracle in the middle lane at least. Top lane, you got Scout just doing what he can. How was the creep farm breaking down? I'm sure Pestilence having a great time. 12-7 here at the top lane. You got Pebbles in the middle lane, 14-1. Warbeast at 10-1. He's against Bubbles, who's 16-1. So Jolem here having the better time at the bottom lane. Middle lane matchup. Prisoner though, Prisoner only 10-0 actually. Pebbles 14-1. So despite that presence here of Prisoner and Engineer, you know, being able to pull them in and set something up, it's still. And again, those glowing hands, the hatchet here on Pebbles, he is hitting really hard, managing to get some good creep kills. Well played by No Shit there. Look at Scout, Fabelli being annoying here. Pulling the creep wave. Force Pestilence to do it at the tower here. Too much else though to talk about. I mean, as far as expecting this game to pick up, obviously around those 6 and 7 marks. Sure, Parasite. He's also been quiet, but right as I say that, here he comes with a Wild Hunter. Oh no, Pebbles now in a lot of trouble. This Prisoner gonna maybe go for the pull in. There goes the jump right there, Prisoner. Where is it? No, he's not able to land a good sidestep coming out by Pebbles. And actually almost got the turnaround chance. Engineer going a little bit too close. Nearly gets caught by the stalagmites right there, but he gets away in time. It's gonna be fine. Prisoner though with the old ball and chain. Not the fastest ability, and again as you saw right there, it's pretty predictable that it was coming, so Pebbles was able to guess it. Pebbles 27-12. Oh, there's the pull in. Actually pulls 2 heroes, it looks like. Stalagmites come out, and it'll be enough to help them get away. You see Engineer putting the turret out on the Pebbles, slowing him down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Or maybe it will, actually. Parasite coming in with the leaps. The Kex on it is going to connect, and Prisoner in his face, putting in the auto attacks, puts on the shackles. Pebbles says, get off me. Is that actually going to be enough to get away? Nice stun from Aluna. Holy crap, it is. Wow, thought for sure Pebbles was going to die right there. Somehow they managed to keep him alive, though. The chase from 3, Parasite, Prisoner, and Engineer cannot do enough. Well played. Coming out there by Pebbles, and especially Aluna. Adro to cut him off right there. So we still remain with the 1 kill. Oh, did I not change the scoreboard? That's going to go on for another 6 minutes. Sorry, chat. Yeah, it's downside of having a delay. Again, kind of going back to these casting ways. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. It's on a consistent basis. Just fixed it, though. Ooh, Kelfield gonna be used. He wants to try to take out Warbeast down here. Parasite assisting, gets the leech off. 1 auto attack there. He's gonna use the ulti form, run away. Oh my god, he's gonna survive. Damn. Ready for a miracle, doing a great job of barely staying alive here in these lanes. Very, very close. Managing to get away, though. Invis are going to be followed up by Pebbles here. And again, Pestilence coming along very nicely, so let's see how item progression is coming along here. Steam Boots, Mystic Vestments picked up by Pestilence. He's also level 6, so going to constantly keep that swarm up, I'm sure. Against Scout there. Pebbles in the middle lane. What is... Pebbles wants this kill. What? That was a odd decision. He has the Invis, but... Oh my god, he's going to barely live. Oh, jeez. Random keg stud. Is he still going to go for a kill? No, he doesn't have any mana. That was a very ballsy play by Pebbles. Very ballsy. He does live once again in the end, though. Somehow they're just really good at doing that. Bubbles nearly actually dying here at the bottom lane. I don't know if thought some of the creeps are just close call, but he's finding the impact in the middle lane. Scout coming in right now. They had a Rev Ward down there. They can see him right here. Of course they can see him. As Aluna throws out the stun, and Scout realizing that is the case. Going to counter this Rev Ward here as a result. With the electric eye, of course. So yeah, Pestilence with the Steam Boots and Mystic Vestments here early on. Sure going to try for that portal key now, ASAP. Especially with that Nymphora teammate. Set up some nice ganks. Probably more in favor of Pebbles, but at least until Pebbles gets his own portal key. Obviously, Pestilence may be the better candidate for that. Scout Fabelli, I'm sure he's doing just fine here at the top lane. What is he sitting at? 23 and 2 creep farm. 184 gold per minute, but he is level 6, so doing his darnest. So again, the game continues to be a little bit slower progress here. How's Bubbles coming along? 327 gold per minute. Jolem has continued to be the best farmer for his team, but obviously Best is just a little bit higher. So again, continuing to be a fairly slow game here as far as the earlier on stages. Pestilence has tried to make some action, but here we go though. Once again, as I say that, Pestilence in trouble. He has flight, can't use it just yet. A nice marksman shuttle is going to be used, and that should be enough for the kill. He's trying to turn it around, not going to happen though. Great coordination from the silence from the electric guy to the kill field. Great coordination to finish off Pestilence right there. So trying to finish off the tower, but obviously as you see in the end, it gets denied. It's a good job by Locomotives, slowing down Pestilence a little bit. Find more time for Bubbles, others to get better. Warbeast, 266 gold per minute. Again, he's had a pretty good time here at the bottom lane himself. It's not been the most difficult lane for him. 276 gold per minute. On his way to his Abyssal Skull. Steam Boots and Ring of Teacher finished. Coming up to 10 minutes here. Pebbles actually finds Engineer. Almost cuts him off, but Engineer quick sidestep. And gonna go for that 10-minute rune. Happens to be regen. He's gonna protect it here. Prisoner does have a bottle, but fortunately he's still in the middle lane being occupied. Farming up the creep wave. Probably gonna kill this last one and might head over. Nope, just gonna be picked up Engineer instead. So kind of trying to think about when that mark is of picking action up. I mean, obviously the portal keys, Pebbles and Pestilence both needing those portal keys. That's the big mark for them. And Legion side, Bubbles level 9 now, and he has moved around a little bit. Obviously helps set up that kill at the top lane. As I say that, going for the kill at the bottom lane now. Kelfield comes out, Parasite with the face hug, Marksman shot as well. Coordinating the ultimates, gets the easy kill on a Warbeast. So good movement coming out here by Locomotives now, and gonna put pressure here on the tower. Probably take it out.
The Legion takes down a Hellborn tower!
Ends up taking out the tower as well, so 3,100 gold lead, 2,500 experience lead in favor of Locomotives. Prisoner, let's see, coming along. I mean, again, matching him up against Pebbles here in the middle lane, 45 and 5 Pebbles. You have a 59 and 12 Prisoner now, so things have definitely changed. Pebbles early on was actually managing to do decent, but as this game is picked up in a different story, and the Courier gets picked off by Fabelli. Rude Fabelli. Doing the scout ways. Pebbles middle lane. He falls back before too much happens. Bottom lane, Warbeast is chasing a Metamorphosis. Good juke from Bubbles, though. The Creep Wave also assisting with the blocks. Parasite is here, and Warbeast will be forced to fall back. So good getaway in the meantime. Pebbles going to be initiated on. Shackles are applied. Stalagmite's going to be used right there, but not going to be nearly enough. The final auto attack from Storyfutter, actually. Storyfutter, even with the damage from the shackles, gets the kill. And finds a nice double damage rune, happens to spawn right there. And he'll quickly bottle up. So good for him. Portal Key also just finished on Prisoner. That's even better for him and for the Legion team. Pestilence, how about his Portal Key? 2,000 gold saved up. So he just about has it. It's forced to fall back from the top lane. So now is where you kind of start to expect this game to pick up a bit. How about Fibeli, man? Ghost Marchers, Soul Scream Ring. On its way to the Energizer. Again, he's coming along nicely. Parasite. Been involved where he can. He's 1-0-2. Codex. Coming along. Pestilence does have the portal key now. Well, invite at least. Choosing not to go to the side shop right there. Creep wave. Needs to be careful though, because Scout running up and more support coming. We got Parasite coming up as well. Pebbles is here. He's seen though by Scout. Middle lane in the meantime. There's a kill on to an M4 it looks like, but now we see the initiation on a Pestilence. Pestilence gonna end up falling right there. Yep, he went to get the portal. He didn't even pick it up. He did pick it up, it looks like, but they're also gonna collapse onto a Luna. Pebbles in here says, "Get off me," realizing he's now in a lot of trouble. Disarm coming out from Scout, and he's gonna be chased back. Will it be enough to survive? Pebbles to cut off with the shell serve. Leech comes out, the auto attacks, the silence on a Pebbles as well, preventing him from chucking if he wanted to. And Storyfighter actually will clean up the kill onto him, so what was that, 3 kills in total? Yeah, the middle lane, he also picked off an M4 in the middle lane. I believe it was just before all that fight began at the top side, so. Storyfighter 3-0-1 now, portal key immediately coming into play. How about that, going the portal key right away. As Engineer actually in the middle lane, he's being picked off here. The Gore proc coming out for Pestilence, guarantees a kill. So, making use of his own portal key. But yeah, as we've seen, and you know, kind of makes sense with the hero
the
like
Hellborn takes down a Legion tower.
It's more that battle presence even of, you know, the Insanitarius, the other Parasite. As I always like to say, refer to as kind of like that Kraken style of build. Be that damage that again, the one-man ride's proven that it can be effective. He doesn't actually have a point in that yet. Didn't go for the 1 point of it even for the laning phase, choosing to pass it up until getting it at level 10, that is. They're gonna jump right here into Pestilence. Pestilence in some trouble. He cannot get away. Silence that whole time. I mean, the coordination is on the ball here from Locomotives. Viveli's doing a great job of silencing with those electric eyes, and as you see, I mean, nothing Pestilence can do in that case to help get away. So, but yeah, I mean, the portal key pickup at point B, it's not a bad pickup by any means, but
the Legion takes down a Hellborn tower.
Especially if they're gonna continue playing this way of we just want to be aggressive against you. And maybe figuring too that they don't want to give too much time for Warbeast to eventually get his farm that he's looking for. So want to keep the aggression up. Going the portal key prisoner definitely helps with that. And Fibeli has just continued to play a very active game himself. And that's going to continue, looks like. Warbeast once again being locked down. He doesn't have his ulti for him. Marksman shot being used right here. Gonna go off. Not the most damage though. Can he actually live through this? Prisoner chasing him down. Prisoner gonna be turned on. Big dive from the Legion team. And it's gonna end up costing them their lives. But Belly does fall at the end right there. Balthazar gets credit for the kill. 3-for-0 exchange. Locomotives. Yeah, diving a little too far there, safe to say. And actually, Parasite, oh no, he's going to be caught out. He comes out of the minion. Swarm is applied, though. The chase is still Stalagmites just connects. The core proc on top of that. The chuck in the air, and Sequence will fall. It ends up being a 4-for-1. 4-for-0, excuse me, in favor of RFaM. So the big lead, I mean, I believe it was upwards of 9,000 gold even just before that. And now you look at only 3,200 gold lead as well as 1,000 experience lead. So, yeah, you know, that's kind of the point I was just getting at, though. It's, you know, if they're going to continue to play aggressive and whatnot, you know, the items definitely make sense, and that's fine. But also, you know, don't get too overzealous. Don't get too crazy. Scout, he is having some good farm.
Serial killer.
Maybe he will need to become more of that farming presence, because you see right there, even no shit picks up another kill, and then Forrest actually going to end up dying here. She TP'd Pebbles in, it looks like, so kind of being that sacrificial line. Pebbles also hanging around a little bit, not sure what he was thinking. Oh no, and that decision to kind of stutter step is going to cost him his life most likely. He gets pulled back in. A double tap for Fabelli, and it's not over just yet. Pestis decides he wants some blood. Oh, the core park right there. Take over for Bubbles. Going to be far for now. Prison break is out, though. Shackles applied, and down goes. Hat trick for Fabelli. What is going on right now? The Hellborn team, RFaM. Sure, Nymphora dying, you know, it's whatever, cut your losses, but they're just kind of going in one by one now, and Aluno's also getting in a lot of trouble. Are we going to see a quad kill? Yes, we are! What the hell's happening? RFaM gives Scout a quad kill all of a sudden. Why? That all started with Nymphora. They jumped in, they got the initial kill on, what was it, Panty, it looks like an engineer at the top lane. No, great, kills go, sure. Okay, Nymphora sacrificing a life in the end. Whatever, but Pebbles up here, it seemed like he turned around almost as if he wanted to try to save Nymphora. And then he realized, okay, that was Magisaurus. He ended up getting picked up. Pestis then jumped to the last second. He got picked up. We see right here, Parasite's going to get picked at least, so Pebbles getting a little bit of revenge there in the end, but kind of some silly decision-making there from RFaM. Now, I will say, while that was all happening, it was some good distraction ultimately for Warby, so that's, I don't think giving up a quad kill is necessarily the most efficient thing to be doing, but it did distract, and Warbeast actually is farming quite a bit. And actually, you see his build not going to be going for the Abyssal Skull. Interesting. I don't know about that. I mean, and actually, speaking of Warbeast, Gaseous Curse coming into play right here. He's going to be locked down. Pebbles though with the response. Scout in now trouble. Prisoner comes in though with the old ball and chain. And 4 points in with the Pebbles. Pebbles misses stalagmites on Prisoner. Warbeast still is going to be fine. It looks like as it goes ulti form. Scout falls, and now Prisoner in some trouble. The Impale connects. The auto attacks to follow. The Zealson on top of that. Prisoner goes down. A 2-for-1 right here. 2 for nothing, excuse me. Pebbles still wants more. Will he be able to chase down Bubbles? Yes, he finds him exactly. Can he make a takeover here? Takeover comes out. Shell Surf. Can he get it off in time? No, the red stun. 2-second rest down from Maluna. Prevents it from porting. You see Parasite's like, gotcha. But that doesn't even come close to killing Pebbles. This game is just, it started off so freaking slow. It started off so slow here. But all of a sudden, it is picking up quickly, man. It is picking up quickly. And both teams making some odd decisions as far as they're getting a little overzealous here. But again, it's okay. So you look at Warbeast choosing to really just rush that Shrunken Head. Even not going to be going the Abyssal Skull here. And Shrunken Head is always a great item, but you know, the Abyssal Skull, it's an awesome farming tool for earlier on even, as well as just the more armor you get from it. It's 5, right? Am I wrong in that? Yeah, the 5 armor compared to the 2 armor that you get from the Ring of the Teacher. As well as the base damage as well. I mean, so choosing to pass that up to finish a Shrunken Head, which he does have now. So at least that's the good news. But again, you do look back though. That's with the Prisoner build, the early Portakey on Panty as well. These engineers managed to get earlier on Portakeys, man. They got 3 Portakeys across the board. If you include Bubbles, obviously as well. Then you got Scout roaming around with that Vanish. They've tried to make this more of the aggressive game, but it seems like it's almost backfired to an extent. Prisoner going to be picked off right there. Nice coming in the background. Energy building us up, causing some issues, but Warbeast just doesn't care. He runs through. He didn't even activate his Shrunken Head, so don't know about that. Probably should have used that first. He is going to go in here now, chase, take cover, going to use my Bubbles. Nice Portakey away, going to be fine. Engineer off to the side. He is also going to go back in, actually. Pest is being chased back, but at what cost right here? Engineer in trouble now. He's going to be chased down. They're also going to go for Scout off to the side. Pestilence jumps in with the Impale. Scout needs to keep running. This Healson, oh, just out of range. And he's also going to pick up a double damage unit on the run. He's going to go back in. Oh, the one shot right there on the Pestilence. Great play by Fabelli. He might die in the end. Pebbles chasing. Does not have mana. Does not have mana for his abilities. Even if his team would change, it wouldn't matter. Fabelli's still running out of mana, though, currently. Is he actually going to live? Parasite coming in. They want to make a counter kill. Not going to happen. Grace the Nymph comes out, but just not going to be in time. Oh, man. What a mana by Fabelli right there. Turns around. And he one-shots Pestilence with something like 460 crit right there. So that's how that fight will end. 15 to 13 hero kills all of a sudden. Again, talk about for the first 10 minutes or something like that. This game was just kind of pretty slow mode here. Not a whole lot of action, but it is picked up, and it is picked up plentiful. So, again, I keep going back to, though, the builds here. You know, Prisoner not going for more of that damage presence. Despite, I mean, overall this team is, again, Scout is going to definitely become more and more of that. But earlier on, I think I personally would have liked to see more of that, you know, battle presence prisoner, but at the same time, you know, having the portal key, as we've seen several times, got some good positions to gank with the bubbles and with the scout here. But is that going to work the best in the end? Because the longer this game progresses on, it's hard to sit here and say that the Legion team is going to be the better late game team. Again, Scout's not doing too bad, 311 gold per minute, but Warbeast is continuing to be up there. Even with his choice to go that Shrunken Head first, he now is working for the Abyssal Skull. And then you have Pestilence, I mean, applying the Swarm debuff for not only himself, but for Warbeast, but for Pebbles too, and for everyone on his team, obviously. And he's also working towards his own Shrunken Head. And then Pebbles has 3,000 gold saved up. I'm surprised. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Mighty Blade picked up. So he too is going to be working towards the Shrunken. So we're going to be having 3 Shrunken Heads here on the Hellborn side coming out here in the near future. And that's going to
Hellborn takes down a Legion Tower. Legion takes down a Hellborn Tower.
Tower exchanging going on in the process. So yeah, Locomotives, again, going back to the build, it just seems they've banked on the fact that they needed to win this game earlier than later. So I guess with that logic, that's where it kind of makes sense, you know, with the early on portal key for Prisoner here. And you do see also, I haven't touched on this yet, but no Fire Blade being worked on by Scout here. I assume that's mainly because of the Swarm debuff even. Wants to be able to get rid of that. But also just a solid tool to have for both damage and chasing somebody else down. Kongor not going to fully happen. You see they were attempting it, but see what they can make happen. In the end, they fall back, however. 3,000 experience lead. The gold lead, though, pretty much similar. But again, there's more to it than just that. The fact that Engineer was able to rush into that portal key is pretty good. But again, with the Shrunken Heads being built, his energy field not going to be as effective. And yeah, you see the battle cry constantly being used too. It's the red glowing hands all across the board. A lot of damage potential. Haste Rune on Pebbles right here. I will say they really haven't used the Nymphora TP, at least from what I've been able to tell a whole lot this game. Mikey Man playing the Nymphora. He's getting close to level 11 though, so he's going to start being able to port both Pebbles and Pestilence. Both of those portal keys. You can imagine some easy ganks being set up with that, but you know, whether that's just because of Legion team sticking together too much, and I think it is more of a case of that, if anything. They have been sticking together a lot this game. Speaking of Nymphora, she's actually going to be fine. Bubbles was wondering if he was going to actually port in right there. I mean, he had a kill field, he could have done it, but they were going to be diving the tower if that was the case, and you can't be taking that much of a risk here. Is that the real scout? Yes, it is. Checking out the top lane. Pestilence by himself. He finds actually Warbeast in the jungle. Oh, Warbeast going to use Metamorphosis though. He saw them coming. Something gave him vision. Whether it was the Hellhounds or something else, but you saw right there, by the way. Also, speaking of Warbeast, Masera using his Hellhounds to farm another camp. Well, he was farming one, so. And I think the Shrunken Heads are coming. Yeah, Shrunken Head just finished on Pestilence, and Pebbles just about has his. About 60 gold away now. And that's, you know, that's the part of this game where Locomotives, they looked pretty early on, but I mean, back and forth though, these teams have, to an extent, have had their throw moments, but in the end, it's going to be to the benefit of RFaM, it looks like. Now having to deal with those 3 Shrunken Heads and ultimately a better scaling team overall, you can argue, is not good news here for Locomotives. Nullfire is finished on Scout. Who do they find? They found Bubbles, actually. Bubbles going to be picked up. Off to the side. Parasite thinks it's a good decision to go in. He gets the kill, but at what cost right here? He's going to be fine, it looks like. Meanwhile, back here, Prison Break is applied. Pestilence with the Shrunken Head. The Gorproc goes out. Swarm is applied. Down goes Prisoner. And here comes the Metamorphosis down. Engineer going to be picked up. No energy field even used right there. The Impale Stun stunning Scout. He doesn't have a Swarm, though. He cannot Swarm him, actually. No shit picks up the double tap. Bubbles buys back, though. He comes back up with the Kelp field. But the Shrunken Head Warbeast says, look at that big chuck coming out. The Swarm is applied, and now they can see him. But again, the movement speed isn't enough. No, the Impale Stun comes out with the portal key. The baby ton on top. Legion team voting to concede. Yeah, it looks like Locomotives. They say, you know, enough is enough. We needed to win this earlier on stage, and we didn't do it. Back and forth. Both teams had their bad decision making, but in the end, it just hurt Locomotives that much more. The Gazebo might not actually go through, it looks like, but especially after that. That's got to be demoralizing. You're already down 1-0, of course. And now you're going to give up a Klongor. You're going to give up, I mean, they're going to start getting their next tier of items here. The Shrunken Heads are one thing, but now they start picking up more damage focus. Something like a Shield Breaker on Pestilence. I'm sure Soul's Bulwark, which I'm actually a little surprised hasn't even been picked up yet, but Soul's Bulwark on Warbeast here. Wouldn't be surprising to see. Or Pebbles even. Maybe Warbeast just might go a different route, but yeah. Again, the early earlier on porta key on Prisoner, Scout was aggressively moving around the map and trying to make plays happen, which they did, but might not be enough in the end. Codex is level 2 on Parasite. You see here again, they know they don't have much of a window left. They're going to move as a team. Now, Scout is not with them, so they need to be careful about that. Scout's a lot of their damage here. They're going to find Warbeast. Warbeast by himself. No, he has a Luna nearby. Shrunken Head is activated. He's going to go in right here. Nice pick off onto Luna at least right away. Now 4 points in. Now look at that. Engineer's going to get bursted out. Nice Prison Break coming out from Prisoner. 945. Will it be enough though? He pulls him in right there. I don't think so. He's going to try to run away. Meanwhile, Scout's going to get caught by Pestilence. He doesn't have a Swarm just yet though. Gorproc goes out. He gets the kill. And they do get the kill on a Prisoner as well. There's another one we see. And this one does actually go through right here. Wow. Ready for a Miracle. Takes the series 2-0 over Locomotives. Well played on their part. Again, this is, like I said, even going in this series, this is a team, it's a newer team on the scene as far as their name, as far as, you know, we know of them, and started in gold, got 2nd place overall, moving on to Diamond here. They get a big victory against Locomotives. They're already going to be staying in Diamond, making it into this round, but now they're going to be moving on to compete for the 7th, 8th place for a top 8 finish. Even they're guaranteed top 8 here now in cycle number 1. One more victory gets them in the money spot. So, I'm sure they got to be feeling pretty good. They are going to be playing Justice League, with that said, in the next round. So, to update on that, so Justice League versus Ready for a Miracle going to be happening. That's actually going to be, I mean, Ready for a Miracle again, proving that they can compete with some solid teams, so we'll see if they can make it through Justice League or not. Internet Gangsters is waiting for the winner of Lions versus Masked Muchachos. So it looks like that series is still going on right now. And looks like they might even be just getting started with game number 2, I guess. So, like I said, Coldcast is covering that one. So, as far as HoNcast is concerned right now, going to be taking a break. Unfortunately, might be a little bit of a longer break as a result of finishing a little earlier here. But the good news is we do have a kick-ass best of 3 coming up ahead of us. We got a great best of 3. It is a rematch once again. We got Stay Green going to be taking on Too Much Sugar, as you see right there on the brackets. You can check this out for yourself. You go to HoNtour.com, the events tab, Diamond Division Cycle 2. That's how things are moving along. Too Much Sugar versus Stay Green. That's going to be happening at about a little over an hour from now. We'll keep you updated as we move along here. Of course, going to keep the stream on as always. But we're going to be covering that series. I'm sure Coldcast will cover the Team USA versus Team Excellent series, but that should also be a great one, of course, and one to keep an eye on. But I'm excited for Stay Green versus Too Much Sugar. Always am. I mean, again, Stay Green is just looking so freaking good lately, but Too Much Sugar is as well. I mean, they are. Now, against Stay Green, obviously the last cycle, it once again ran into a wall to an extent, but that's something that tells me they want to make up for that. They want to make up for that, make it a good best of 3, and I'm excited to watch that. So I'm sure you guys are as well. Plenty of fans of many players in that series, so I'm excited for that one. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, though, we are going to be taking a break right here. So definitely, for now, head over to Coldcast. I'll say that much. Head over to Coldcast, twitch.tv/Coldcast, where Beef is casting the Lions versus Masked Muchacho series. Game number 2 of that one. And then eventually, after that series is finished, over an hour from now, about an hour and 15 minutes or so, we'll have Stay Green going to be taking on Too Much Sugar. Should be fun, should be fun. So stay tuned for that. Again, head over to Coldcast,